Hey Crafty fam, it's Alex Vanover and welcome back to my craft room. In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to customize paper gift bags using vinyl. So let's get started. So when you're decorating a gift bag with vinyl, I'm gonna be using this as like a bachelorette bag, but of course you can use these same techniques if you're decorating something with gift wrap, if you're making favor bags, or really any time you wanna decorate a paper bag with vinyl. I found two different household items that make really good transfer tape for this. I have worked with painter's tape and also press and seal, and since they both work really well, I wanna show you how to use both because it is a little bit different working with each one. So I'm gonna start out with press and seal. Since you can see through it, that's gonna make it easier to center it on my bag. So I'm just going to open up my box and get a piece big enough to put on my vinyl. And of course, make sure that it's the sticky side of the press and seal that you're putting on the vinyl. I'm also gonna trim it a little bit just because it can get a little bit tangled up. So the advantage that I found working with press and seal is that of course it's see-through, so that makes it easier, but also it does wrinkle very easily. So just be really careful when you're placing it on your vinyl. So I'm just gonna place it over top like this, and I mostly use my fingers. I will use the squeegee when we actually get it on the bag, but I found that I don't really need it a whole lot. So there you go. See, it does get a little bit wrinkly, but it works really well. So once it's firmly on the press and seal, then you can peel off the backing. Well, changed my mind. We may need the squeegee a little bit. But just be sure not to use too much pressure because you can rip the press and seal if you're not careful. There we go. And since it's not as sticky as regular transfer tape, it does sometimes take a little bit of work to get it off of the press and seal. But that's why it works so well in the paper bag, because it doesn't strain it or threaten to rip it the way that regular transfer tape does. The other thing I have found with press and seal is that it does sometimes leave a residue, kind of like contact paper can on your vinyl. So if you're going to use press and seal, I recommend that if you put the press and seal on your vinyl, get it on the bag as quickly as you can so that you have the least likely, you're the least likely to get any residue left on your vinyl. I'm using StarCraft HD vinyl, which you guys know I love if you've ever watched my videos before. I especially like the matte finish for this project because it honestly looks like it was just printed on the bag. You can't even tell that it's external vinyl on the top. So I love the way that it looks. So I'm gonna move my bag over and get ready to add my design. I like to put it beneath the little panel that has the handles attached to it. That way it looks nice and even. So I'll place it about right there, and I'll just first push it down with my fingers, and then I'll come in with my squeegee. And then you can peel it off really easily. So that works out really well. And then I'm gonna show you how to use painter's tape with some of these smaller pieces. So the only disadvantage, excuse me, that I found with painter's tape is that of course you can't see through it. So it can be a little bit tricky to line things up, but that's why I like using it for these little pieces, because I'll just use a strip or two for each of these designs, and that makes it with a lot less waste for transfer tape. So I'll just use a little tiny piece for this heart. And see, it just comes off there so easily. It's really nice. So this is the dot over top of the eye, and I can actually kind of see through it with the light a little bit, but you guys can kind of see that on the camera, but it's just not quite as easy as the press and seal. So I'll rub it in place and peel off the painter's tape. Super easy.
And then I'll need to put one more strip on the bottom so that I can cover all of the little emphasis marks. And then this is gonna go right in between the bottom of the D and above tribe. And this is where it gets a little challenging without being able to see, but I'm just gonna wing it and hope the placement looks good. So what I have found with painter's tape is whenever you have layered pieces like this, it's best to take off the bottom piece or the piece that you placed last first, and then kind of work up from there. That way you don't end up messing up your tape. There we go. And then lastly, we'll just put the date below. So I'll get some new pieces for that are long enough to cover the whole thing. And then I'll get one more piece just to cover like that, a comma and everything. You could probably work with just one, but I just like to play it safe when it comes to stuff like this. I'll just peel off the backing. And by the way, this is the Copper Matte HD, and I love the way that it looks with this black. I just think the extra shine is so pretty. So I'm gonna try to center this below. And then remove our painter's tape. So if you're just making a handful of bags, transferring the vinyl like this is a super, super easy method. I've seen a lot of people talk about trying to write on their bags with their Cricut and so many different things, but I really think that since this is so easy to do, that vinyl is a really, really great option. If you're not already a part of one of my crafty fams on Facebook, I would love to have you as one of the members of my group. So be sure to check the description below for the links to both of my Facebook groups. And if you decide to make anything using my tutorials, whether it's a gift bag or something else, and you share it on Instagram, please use the hashtag DIYAlex because I love seeing what you guys are crafting. And if you've made it this far in the video, then I really want to connect with you on social media. So please be sure to find me at DIYAlexVanover on pretty much all major social media platforms. And I'll also put direct links to my profiles down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, then be sure to subscribe to the DIY Alex YouTube channel and be sure to ring the bell so that you get notified every single time that I put out a new video every single week. But don't wait for next week's video. Be sure to check out this one next. Or if you want to make your DIY dreams come true, be sure to check out this video. I know that you're going to love it.